Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Marco D'Angelo. I'm joined in studio with the two guys behind Vegas Synergy. We've got Frank P. and Las Vegas Chris in studio with us. Guys, in Vegas, there are a ton of football contests every year. It's the most popular. People can get into contests here for as little as $25 on some of them to, we've got contests, $5,000 buy-ins. With the big super contest this year. You guys have done quite well around town with contests. Read your highlight reel. You guys won the $100,000 winner-take-all Wynn Casino Eliminator. That had over 600 entries in that. You've won, these are all past wins. The Palms NFL Showdown was over 7,000 entries. You won $52,000 first place prize. Last year, Stations Casino, last man standing, 2,600 entries. You were the last man standing. You finished second in 2015 in the Golden Nugget standings during the regular season. 8 people battled out at the end. Everybody battles at the beginning of the season, and then the final 8 go to the finals. But you two, you were second after the regular season, and then last year you both entered, finished second and third during the regular season in the Gold Nugget. The question I got to ask you guys, what contest are you entering this year? I want to know so I'm not in them.
This year, well, I know we're going to probably enter the Golden Nugget one.
Which we're going to be also.
And then we were just talking about maybe that $5,000 Hilton one, because they got 40 entries. It's $5,000 winner take all. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do more. Because the other ones is getting to the point of a WSOP thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, used to be where you could hit like 60%, 51 wins out of the 85 and get in the money. Now it's, with 1,800, 1,900 entries, you're going to have to, it's kind of it's fun. It's fun, but it's more of a World Series type thing.
Well, if it was the World Series, if they had 1,800 or 1,900, 200 people would be getting paid. There are only 50 getting paid. Right. So but they want to get that big payday up top. They want it top heavy, and it's going to be good for Westgate. I mean, to be able to say for a $1,500 entry fee turned it into $1 million. And last year we had a barista, from one of the coffee shops here in Las Vegas win the contest. $900,000 was the take home last year. And the person that finished second was a farmer from out of town that came in and signed up, had a proxy and so forth. And it was a way for so many people, they put their $1,500 down. The Westgate contest that's their gambling for the year, because then they have action for the entire 16-week season, picking 5 games each week. So there's, in poker we also use the dead money phrase, and there's a lot of dead money in contests like that, but you got to navigate the minefields. To play in the better contest, maybe some smaller fields, but better competition. But sometimes there's another element. I'll throw it to you, Chris. Game theory comes in to play in some of these contests, in addition to just handicapping, because some of the contests puts the lines out at a certain day. They're locked in on that day, and even though the lines have changed, you can put your plays in up till Friday. Numbers become stale. So now, do you want to take advantage of a stale number, or do you want to take advantage of a game that you think your handicapping outweighs?
First, I have to ask you, are we going to get in that last man standing too?
Yeah,
let's do that one again.
Yeah, that one's fun, and we've done very well.
Obviously.
But playing contests is an entirely different process, and each contest requires a different strategy. An eliminator contest requires an entirely different strategy to a pick 5 games or pick 7 game strategy. In a contest like the Golden Nugget or the Super Contest, your picks are not necessarily the most important picks. You have to evaluate sometimes what other people are going to do. And it depends on where you're sitting in the contest also. You can't gain ground if you're not in first place if you're playing the same games everybody else is playing. And by the same token, if you're leading the pack, you can play a little defense by playing the games that the other people are going to play. An eliminator contest has some of the same philosophy. You're not going to win an eliminator contest betting the popular games. you're screwed. You're just not going to win. You have to take risks. You have to go off the beaten path, and sometimes we won the contest last year, leaving huge line moves on the table. We just didn't like those games. We knew they were going to take it. We're trying to fade other people. We're picking other games. So absolutely, it's completely different.
Yeah, the contest where, you know, if you're chasing people in the contest, and it's a contest that, you know, people are probably out there sitting there saying, well, how do you know what everybody's going to be on? Well, if there's a line in the contest that the number's sitting at 2.5, that's the line that you're playing into. But the actual line now is 4. You know everybody's going to have that -2.5 because it's such a crucial number. It went through it, and they're looking at the value. So if you're in first place or in the money to advance to the finals, yeah, you want to grab that game, because if you win, you're not going to, you know, you're not losing ground because you're going to be on the popular game that everybody else is. And if you lose the game, you're not going to lose ground because they all lost ground with you as well. But if you're trying to make up the ground, you either actually want to go against that one and hope it loses, or you want to find another game. Because if you're going against one of those obvious line move games and you're taking a chance, that's like winning, you know, 2 points instead of 1, because they're losing the one and you're winning the one, rather than you taking just another game because they could win and you could win your game, but there was no movement with the stance there. So that's where game theory comes in. Chris, as we wrap up this video, any other tips that you would give somebody that wants to jump into these contests for the first time?
Absolutely. If you're in a contest, get your smartphone and set it on calendar to remind you to get your picks in. There was one individual last year in the Golden Nugget that forgot to, he put $2,000 in and he forgot to put his picks in week 1. We've done the same thing in lesser contests in the past. We've learned the hard way. Set your alarm. Believe it or not, stuff happens and you're gonna forget. Some way, somehow. I think
and you don't come
really
back
important.
from a contest that in that particular one, it's a 7-game format. So he started the season 0-7, and unfortunately for him, going into the last week, he was just a game or two out of making the finals. That if he would have just went 3-4 or 4-3 that opening week that he forgot to put his plays in. Hope he's not watching, because I'm sure he's kicked himself enough for that one. We just kicked a little more dirt on him. Guys, I appreciate you coming in and talking about it. Best of luck with all of the contests you're in and the ones that we're in together. You know, best of luck finishing second, I hope, in that one. And I'll be rooting for you guys right behind me.
All right.
No problem. He's Frank P. Las Vegas Chris. You can follow them over at WagerTalk. Check out their Twitter account, Vegas Synergy, and check out their plays, guys. Up 122% in 2017. You can get details on all of their packages over at WagerTalk. And guys, don't forget, each and every Tuesday at WagerTalk, it's $2 Tuesday. These guys were the $2 cappers, I think, 2 weeks ago, and gave us a winning deal 3. Usually we give out 1 play on $2 Tuesday. You guys, you 3 plays in the package, because 1 was an early game. 3 games in the package, went 3-0 for $2. Can't beat that. Check it out, wagertalk.com. $2 Tuesday each and every week. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.